Hello everybody and welcome to a bit of a Bear Beer blog. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been down at the London Vegan Beer Fest with Castle Brewery and had the most amazing time. It was set up by the Fat Gay Vegan and also Messy Cook on Twitter. Check those guys out. They have loads of events going on all the time and they're wonderful people. Deep down to their souls, they were absolutely lovely and the event was run so well. It had such a great family atmosphere to it and it was absolutely buzzing from beginning to end. Overall, the entire event was absolutely fantastic. I've met 1,000 new people who I've fallen madly in love with and I will attempt to see it the closest given point. In particular, some of the brewers that I met there, Redchurch, my Irish and Norwegian friends. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I'm really glad you enjoyed the ginger beer that we took along. Garoid, if I pronounce your name right, you can slap me on the wrist if I pronounce it wrong. I'm definitely going to come down at some point. I'd love to do a collaboration brew. It's such a great time with you guys. To the Moore/Marble/Liberty Beer guys, thank you for sending loads of people across to ask for the vanilla porter, the Bad Kitty. People are like, oh, they just said over there that you've got a really good beer on, and I was like, no, you need to go over there, you need to go back to their stall, you need to try the Earl Grey IPA. In my opinion, that was the best beer I've tried there all day. Anyone who's watching, if you can get your hands on this Earl Grey IPA that's produced by Marble, it is absolutely... It's stonking, and I think unofficially, maybe to be announced later, officially that was the most popular beer, the one that people voted for as their favourite beer. Coming up in a close second was Fireship, the Brass Castle beer with ginger in it. That one down like a storm, so thank you to everyone who tried that one, who came along. 5 points. I swapped a ton of bottles with you, and I'm going to get around to reviewing them as soon as I can, but thank you ever so much for that. It's given me, I've got like 8 bottles that you've given me, and I want to drink them all, I want to try them all. It's so cool, and thank you for that, that's really awesome. Guys from Hastings, I spoke to you all night and then all the next day when we were clearing up in the morning. You're probably the nicest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I love your logo. It's like, we were wearing a t-shirt, but I put it in the wash because it was a bit smelly after the ride back in the van home, because the van stinks of beer because we had a little bit of a keg spillage. But they've got an awesome logo, they're really cool guys. They have a whole range of these handmade series of bottles that they've given me, and these are ones that are kind of limited or special edition, so they're kind of hard to get your hands on, so I'm going to do reviews of them, but try out all the range you can find by them. They were such nice people, and the hearts and souls are so poured out into their beer, you can just taste it. The Das guys, if I pronounce your names right, I have your glass here. Thank you ever so much for giving me your glass. It was unbelievably kind of you. I really hope you like. I really hope you like the it was Cliffhanger, I believe. I put He brought me a growler and I filled it full of Cliffhanger for you. I know you like the one all day long. Thank you ever so much for that. I've got your beers as well. I'm definitely going to review them too. There's some Belgian guys who do vegan beers, and also most of them are gluten-free. I think only one of them's not gluten-free. So if you are looking for gluten-free beers and vegan ones that are Belgian, give them a try. There's the name again, I hope I pronounce it right. I'll call them Das, but D-A-A-S. We'll do some reviews of them at some point. And finally, the guys from Pitfield's Brewery as well. They've been going for about, I think it's 20 to 30 years now. But they have an amazing range of beers. They've got loads and loads of different beers. Everything from a lager, which was perfect for the weather, that I had a pint of that, and that was so lovely. It was really full of flavour. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. To an old recipe IPA, and I think I've also got a stout, an old-fashioned style stout that they produced as well. It was lovely chatting with you guys as well, and I'll definitely try and review your beers too. But yeah, overall, it was a fantastic event, and it just opened my eyes up to how much I really enjoy the brewing industry. It's such a fantastic world to be living in, to be able to go into these events and to help out and to feel like you're a part of something. It was such a great community feel and spirit, meeting so many different brewers as well. And I really wanted to do this video as a bit of a shout out to them, to say these are some amazing brewers. Every time I bump into a brewery or go visit one, I am always blown away by how much passion people put into beer. It just reaffirms to me that what I do with reviewing and with helping out Brass Castle. It's the right direction in life for me. This really helps reaffirm it. The food was amazing too. If you ever find yourself out down, we were at St Margaret's House, but I can't remember. I think it's the Garden. It's called the Garden Cafe in Bethnal Green, which is where the event was held. They do amazing vegan food there too. If you ever find yourselves in London and in Bethnal Green, it's right near Bethnal Green Tube Station, give them a try. Coincidentally, I'm also going to mock us out with a their beer review. So considering we're in Bethnal Green, I'm going to go for a Bethnal Pale Ale by the fellas over at Redchurch Brewery. So let's crack this one open. Hey. I know these guys mainly do, I think they only do bottled beers at the moment, which means you can find them around London and other places too. I'm going to use the chilled glass I got from the Dark Skies. Oh, tons of head. Cheeky taste because I have to. So it is a wonderful cloudy. It's kind of like a peachy colour, I'd say, but it's very cloudy. If you don't know anything about why beers might not be vegan, it's because they use isinglass. Some beers use isinglass, which is a swim bladder found in fish, to clear the beer, called finings, which essentially makes them clear. It takes out some of the gubbins in the beer. So that's why you see that some vegan beers are cloudy because they don't use finings, or if they do, they use one called Irish moss, and it purportedly isn't as effective. So they can sometimes come out quite a bit cloudier than your normal beers. But that's what you're looking for. That's fine. Don't let anyone ever tell you that a beer shouldn't be cloudy. They are naturally cloudy. In fact, a beer that is cloudy is more likely to have a longer shelf date, and it's much more likely to be more natural anyway. And that's always a cool thing. I mean, look, 4 Fingers of Head. It's been conditioned fantastically well. It's been travelling in a nice warm car, or should I say Brass Castle van, all the way home, hence why it's got a lot of head on it. It's been shaking around a bit, but that's fine. Pop our nose in for a smell. And it's kind of whacking me with loads of fresh citrusy flavours. It just literally smelled like a handful of hops being shoved underneath your nose. It's really, really wonderfully smelling. And perfect for an extremely hot day. It was 34 degrees coming home in the van with the windows wound all the way down and festering beer that was spilt in the back, filling my nostrils. So this is my perfect reward, is a fresh beer. Apart from that, I can also smell quite a little bit like a malty backbone. I can smell quite a little bit of biscuit right at the back of it, which leads me to believe this might be a little bit more of a balanced beer. So without further ado, let's crack into Redchurch's Bethnal Pale Ale. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, that's really remarkably smooth. It's got a lovely lighter than medium body. I wouldn't call it a light body. It's not a lager-esque body, but it's very smooth as well. Carbonation's really fine bubbles on the tongue, almost kind of champagne-y, yeasty. Again, it might be because it's been wonderfully fermenting away in the back of the van in a nice warm day, but it's a nice sensation. Really smooth, and a very smooth and clear bitterness as well. It's very distinct, and definitely not overpowering, but very much present too. In terms of flavours, those kind of citrusy flavours that come at you with a vengeance. You get a really light malt flavour at the beginning, but biscuity malt I can kind of smell right at the beginning, but it just converts almost immediately into fruit juicy flavours. All those citrus notes coming through towards the back end, and it's the perfect thing that you look for in a pale ale. It ticks all the boxes really. The hop forward flavour, without being too bitter, without being too malty, and you sometimes find the IPAs is a fine example. I love the fact that it's unfine and it's cloudy as well. That's just, I like the way that the beer is made natural. I think this is a fine example. Now, I'm not going to do a rating on this one because I consider these guys friends, but what I will say is go and try their damn beer. Go and do it now, go and buy some. I really like these guys, and they're very talented young bunch of people, and I can see them going far. The beers that I tried at the festival were brilliant. Their IPA, which I haven't got a bottle of because I gave that one to Phil, the brewer from Brass Castle, was definitely one of the best. It was one of the 3 standout IPAs for me at the place. One of them being the Earl Grey, which I thought was the best beer out of the entire lot. I think theirs followed strongly behind. Yeah, this is a fantastic example. I really enjoy this one. Got several more beers to review from him, and thanks for listening to me waffle on for a while. I'm doing a bit of a blog and a beer review at the same time. Check out all those breweries I told you about. They were so awesome. I had a fantastic time, and I shall catch you all on the next beer review. Cheers.